Good morning. It is MLK Day 2026, 9:15 a.m. Take number 4,690,000,001. Good morning. I'm going to give you a quick show of the bruising. I have bruising. I have more bruising on my chin than I do the nasolabial folds, but I do have some there as well. I have the purpling and the greening. So, I laid so many threads in this area. I laid 29 gauge, 25 millimeter, and I laid 26 gauge. No, that was an upper face, and then I threw that pack away. 13 gauge, or 13 millimeter, 30 gauge. So what I found in my threads, now these are not, there are no gases in this bag to keep the threads better or keep the threads fresh, okay? These are vacuum sealed to keep oxygen out. So my threads have on their pack a manufacture date, and based on research, threads last 18 months to 2 years and need to be used in that time. Once this bag is open, the other bags that hold the threads are also vacuum sealed. And the closer I am to the 18-month to 2-year mark, once I open the package, like if I have to use those threads right away, there is no holding on to 2 or 3 threads for a month or two, because in opening it, closer I am to 18 months to 2 years, what I found and why I was so upset the other day was because I was able to lay a couple threads and then the threads went bad and I wasn't able to use them. When the thread is saturated with oxygen, it dries it and it becomes like a hair, sort of, you know what I mean? And it becomes dried out and it became brittle. And I was able to lay 2 or 3, but I wasn't able to lay the whole pack because the threads became saturated with oxygen. They were older and they dried out and became brittle, and they were unable to lay without breaking off. So I was creating in those instances, I was creating a trauma to the face that did not have to be created. So no, there's no gases that keep the threads, preserve the threads. It's the lack of gas, the lack of oxygen. Those things are meant to be, they're supple. It's a dissolving material that the body can absorb. So, even with saying that, they are of a hard enough tensile strength to create support in places where they are laid. And that's why I believe that they are used for beauty. So, and you saw where I put them, they create, and we all know that they create volume and they do create support. So the way that I used them the last couple of days was to create volume, mostly in this area and from inside the lip to the nasolabial fold, more than from the entry point to where I laid them. You can see when I do this now, you can kind of see where some of the threads are. Okay. And this is where a lot of the muscle is. So yes, I feel these threads. They are pinching some. I am not going to melt them with my RF because the hard nature of the threads have created some support to this area. And where that hardness is, that hard tensile strength of the thread is, as it stands presently, without it and me naturally, my body heat melting it rather than adding RF and anything over 98 degrees to melt it more, to contract the collagen to make it rebuild, allowing this to set up in with this as it stands with the support it is will help to build that structural support that will help to keep the symmetry that I am finding has the thread placement has given me, even as I speak and though the tox is wearing off some, and yes, I'm drinking the coffee and things like that, you can see that my right side is not drawing down so much as I speak. And it's because I now have it has some structure here. It has some support. The muscles are still going to be stronger and have that pull, because that's what's happened. Yet I do not have as much of a draw. I see even over the last couple of days. And as I stated, I had been using Allergan Botox. Allergan Botox on me does not last very long, and I metabolize it kind of quickly. Also, oh, a supplement for bruising is, everybody uses arnica, yes, but I also take milk thistle to give my liver the support that it needs to handle situations like bruising and processing and healing. The liver needs all the support it can get. So I use cranberry and milk thistle twice a day at this time, and lysine. Lysine's really great for the skin. I forgot to mention that before. Lysine, 4,000 milligrams of lysine is enough to be similar to an antiviral to keep things away that are virus related. And I'm not saying that it will knock off COVID or anything like that, or the flu or anything like that. I'm just saying that it's one of the things that I've noticed. So I do take it because it's also great for the skin and acne, which I have, and blackheads, which I have. So I won't, and even though I have them at the moment, I will not be doing any extractions in the area where, around this area. Because my blackheads, I had two little blackheads right here. I won't be doing any extractions over the next month. It's just going to be there because I'm not going to be wanting to press on this area. I am grateful that I pulled the cog and I waited. I'm not going to lay that cog until this cog threads or do any lifting until the volumizing heals and volumizes and I see where this lands. I am, pardon me. I am grateful for the volumization that I see already, and it will only get better over time. So I want all of that to happen and set up before I add any volumizing thread to ensure that I'm not volumizing, lifting thread, so that I use the lifting thread in the best way. Because I'm already scared of it, and I don't want to be scared. And I was premature. I think I wasn't ready. Like I said before, give me some fear as long as I'm prepared to deal with it. Well, I wasn't prepared to deal with the fear from the large thread after so many failures in that day, seeing so much blood in that day, things like that. It was just time to stop. And knowing when that is for me is important to me because I love my face. This is the only face that I have. So I want to take care of you, face, because you're my only face. And everybody, I think, should feel that way about their face, regardless of how anybody else feels about their face. So I'm going to take it light the next couple of days. I'm not going to do if I do Botox, I may not record it. It will be all the glabella, all up here. I can't, this needs, the little, like I said, the thread, laying the threads has given me some support. I do not want to completely freeze this right now because I'm adjusting the way that I speak because I can feel the threads, or I'm not necessarily, it's just now, it's happening because I can feel the threads. I need these threads to set up. I am immediately noticing that the want to do this or the want to pull from one side to the other is not as prominent, and I believe it's due to the support. So I need that support to set up as nicely as it can. I do listen intently and need to. I'm red here because this is like take 8, 9, and I was talking about maybe Botoxing another video. And yes, I could see that I could put some 13 millimeters here. And I did not put them here. Using tox would not be a bad idea for me in the glabella region or right here because and one of the threads that I lost was in the middle. Yes, I could put another one there. Because I am frowning so much and at work people are looking like the look on my face, I think, is looking like I'm either surprised or like I'm rushed or hurried or worried about something. Either that or maybe they just don't know me very well yet. And they just don't know that's what my go mode looks like. I'm on high alert. I see everything, hear everything, you know what I mean? And just want to make sure everything's okay. So yet when I listen intently, I frown my face. This I know for a fact, and I need to stop that because I don't want people to think that I'm upset with what they're selling me. And I don't want people to think that they can't come to me with anything, because that's just how my face works. And they don't know me very well, and everybody's walking on eggshells anymore these days. Most of the time, especially when we're opposite races and stuff, people, lots of people don't speak as, don't feel comfortable talking to other people these days, for all kinds of reasons. So I'm trying to not go political, and this is why, and that's exactly why this is take 8, because it seeps in everywhere. It's coming into life. And it's one of the reasons that is creating the stresses that are becoming very obvious and relevant on my face. So I have to be able to have certain conversations and be in the faces of certain people without showing anything, or showing or making it look like I could be judging someone where I'm not. That's just for me. I am trying to keep politics and life out of this right now. But I can say for a lot of us, that's probably a lot of what's going on. If in medicine's not lasting as long, like Botox not lasting as long, and the level of tension that a lot of us feel, especially as ladies out here, is high. It's super high. Because that red pill content got these dudes out here like, what the... Oh, speaking of red pill content, I remembered the song. I love you, intuition. He wants to get his dick wet. I'll start again. I love you, intuition. He wants to get his dick wet. I know I'm not his first choice. I will not play the second. That was a song. I sang it all day on top of protect the pussy. Protect my cunt tea. Protect my pussy. I'm gonna protect my pussy, bitch. So, yes, I remembered the song. I've been singing it ever since, and I keep forgetting to add it to the videos. It's anyway. Yeah. I got bruising. It'll last a little while. Arnica salve. I'm using this kid stuff, this Mederma skin protectant, and I'm taking the milk thistle. I took that already. And I will be using the red light wand, the true 850 nanometer red light wand. I will not be doing, I was looking at my face like, oh, the melasma's getting there. I'm not going to be doing any chemical peels, even though I have some, or laser treatments. Nothing that will apply heat at the moment, because I want to give this at least a month to set up and for the collagen to start building around it. I could see where maybe some medical tape for now. No, it's going to be what it is. I want this to deal naturally. Like, I'm seeing some things, like I also am noticing too, you may notice this as well in laying threads if you're doing volume like this. This, and you saw how many I used. This should last 18 months to a year. Or 2 years. My thing is, and I'll get it and it'll look really nice. My thing is like maintenance every like maybe 6 months, adding some threads, or doing this or doing that. I won't follow up. It's like medicine. I'm healed. I'm okay now. I can stop, right? I do that. That is one of the things with regards to treating the face in this way and not getting a facelift that we as DIYers have to be okay with. Facelifts can be expensive in the United States. If I were to leave the country to get a facelift, I would probably go see Dr. Contessa. I would see someone in Thailand or someplace like that, where they are okay doing transsexual facial transsexual surgeries. And the reason why I say that is because they have a level of empathy that other surgeons may not have. Just in seeing someone knowing that someone is not comfortable in their skin in that way. And it's not that I'm necessarily uncomfortable. I'm just saying I would go to a place personally. And this is just my thinking with regards to the level of human being and being a brown woman who wants to be treated like a human being. You know what I mean? I don't know that I would find that in the States, even with other black or brown doctors. You know what I'm saying? Because there are some brown doctors that hate black people. So, you know, it's such a slippery slope, and trying to keep the world out of this is almost impossible. So when you're a person of a certain age, like when I think about the cost of what this is and how often, like once the setup is made and once the improvement is where I want it to be, then it becomes maintenance. And maintenance doesn't have to happen like every month. Maintenance could be every 6 months or things along those lines. Melasma may require constant and frequent maintenance because, you know, if you have it, it can and once you clear it up, it can come back. So like I couldn't see, like when I clear this up, I don't see me getting rid of my laser, trying to sell it or anything, because it could come back. You know what I mean? When I think of the cost, in short, when I think of the cost overall of trying to maintain this, it may be as much as, with the suppliers that I have on a yearly basis, it may be $500, $600 a year. Maybe. And if you multiply that by however many years you think you'll be alive, you know what I mean? This could be a viable option for long-term care for you. Yes, the face is going to continue to change. Botox use over time for older people, I think, is frowned upon. And I think that has to do with laxity of skin and things like that, and the way some things are done. Yet, if the face is volumized to where it is, I don't know. Like I say, I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying. So cost effectiveness of doing these treatments versus an actual facelift is definitely something that you would personally have to decide and gauge, because I've thought about it. I'm like, now that I have a living wage, now that I have a decent job, finally, and I mean, we're talking many decades after getting, you know, not several, like 4 or 5 or anything since getting my degree, but it's took some time to get here. A facelift could be something that could be an option for me, yet, and only if I leave the country to get it done by somebody that I think I could trust and could afford. Because in the States, it could be $150,000, $600,000, $150,000. You know what I mean? That's a lot. Now, I could see, I would, you know, like 10,000. Yeah, I could afford that, maybe, you know. And then, you know, it's just a lot. It can be a lot. So, and that is $10,000 that I would spend now to not have to do any of this over a period of the next 10 to 20 years, and could potentially still need this in 10 to 20 years because skin ages, laxity happens, gravity happens, you know, and upkeep is needed. So, these are options that we as women, or we as people who are out here trying to keep a job. Appearance, I don't care what job you're doing, appearance is so important. And especially in retail, oh my gosh, making the least amount of money, seeing in the most amount of faces in a loud and buzzing environment, and being seen by all these people all the time, it is extremely important how you look. Because yes, most of the people that come and go out of those spaces most people judge other people by how they look. As much as we like to be like, oh, we're so above this, that, and the other. No, we're not. No, we ain't. And I do it sometimes too. So, you know, happy MLK Day. I hope you have a wonderful day of enjoying the freedoms that we have right now. Enjoy the freedoms you have right now, and do everything you can to maintain and hold on to the freedoms we have right now. They are few, and they are all under attack. So, have a great day. If you're working, find your smile. If you're off, find some rest. Enjoy your day.